Hello, you guys. Hello. We are here for our first live show. For our first, oh my gosh, my setup is giving so ghetto, so mom and pop. So we got shut down by the health department. Please help us out. Link in bio, GoFundMe. Any little bit helps. That is what it is giving. But you know what? We are here today. I am excited. I am excited to talk about Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. So, when I came up with this book club, I thought we were going to have duds. I am so sorry. I have read so many bad books this year that I was like, dud, this is going to be a dud. Baby, we have a hit. We have a hit. I don't know if the girls read the book. You didn't have to read the book. I'll tell you what happened in the book as we go through the discussion so you can chime in and tell me your opinions because I have some questions. I need to ask the audience. Oh my gosh, y'all are in here. Y'all, I am sorry about the setup. I don't know what to tell you. It's getting ghetto down. Why did y'all expect anything different? Like, I don't know what to tell you, but we are here today. I am so excited. I have been waiting to have a community to talk about books with. I just been waiting. Like, this is our time. I'm gonna wait for people to trickle in really quick. How did we feel about the book? Tell me in comments how we felt about the book. Hello, everybody. Hello, Catherine Kelly. Hello, Rose. Hello, Autumn Patterson, Megan Bateman, Victoria Solomon, Britt. Hello, everybody. I am so excited to be here today. Yes, fives all around. You guys, yesterday, so like, I'm not even going to lie to you. I read this whole book yesterday because I wanted it to be fresh in my mind. So yesterday, I was jumping between this book and Renaissance. I would read 50 pages, go back to Renaissance by Beyonce, read 50. Like, it was just a vibe. I'm home alone. Like, my man is gone. I kicked him out the house. I was like, you have to go. This is between me, Beyonce, and Joya. That's all this weekend is going to be about. And I had the time of my life. So I'm going to just get started right now. 5 out of 5 stars. 5 out of 5 stars. So, like, Joya, she wrote, hold up. She wrote Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, which I read during Black History Month. And like, which one do we like better? I don't know if we read one or the other or we read both. I'm going to already tell you what the answer is. This one is better. This one is better because my girl Joya, what she figured out was like what didn't work in this one, which I still gave this book 4.5 out of 5 stars. I loved it. And she like made it better here. Like, and that's all we can ask. So we're going to start by just like immediately getting into the author of the book. Cause like, I'm going to tell y'all something right now. I am over swirl romances. When I was coming up with like, how to like come up with a book club, because I feel like a book club where you read anything is not a book club. It's just you reading books. You have to have a specific like category of what your book club is going to be about. Like, you just can't read everything. So I said, what is my book club going to be about? And so I was thinking, and I was like, it's going to be about romance. So I knew I'm a romance girl. And so I was like, it's going to be about romance. But then I said, we have to take it a step further because like everybody on TikTok reads romance books. Like, the girls love romance books, but I hate the girls over there on TikTok. Like, they are so racist. Can we get on that really quick? The romance girlies on TikTok are racist. And I'm going to say it, like, y'all going to drag me. Y'all going to nail me to the cross, but they are racist. They do not read books about two Black people. They don't. Who do you see recommending romances with two Black people? They don't exist. And everybody be sitting in the comments, laughing about it. But like, why are we not addressing the elephant in the room that y'all don't read romances about two Black people? And I'm also getting on the people who only read swirl romances. Like, you are only going to get but so many points from me if you only read swirl romances. If you only want to see Black girls with white dudes, you're only going to get but so many points. Because like, if all the heroes in the book are still white, like, have we moved forward? Like, you do realize white men are the most privileged men in society. So if we're still just reading books about white men, have we moved forward? So I'm just like, the girlies on TikTok are racist. They're not recommending Black romance books. And you guys know, if you follow me If you follow me, that you know that I have been in my YA era. I don't know how. Do y'all remember like 3 years ago when I dated YA? I was just like, YA is the worst genre in the world. Like, I hate YA. And like, I stood 10 toes down on that. I have hated YA for so long. And then, like, something happened in February where I read a bunch of YA books and all of them ate. All of them ate. I have only given a few books 5 stars, and every single YA book I have read that's a romance, except for that stupid Dean Otta book, I have given 5 stars. Like, they have just been so good. And so I was like, okay, we're going to do a romance book club, and it's going to focus on Black romance. Like, it just is. Now, I do not mind if we may get some swirl in there. I would like some Asian swirl. That would give, like, we could give other, like, there's just not gonna be no white men around here. I don't even know what to tell you. There's just not gonna be any white men around here. Like, sorry for my girls that love a good white man. Like, I don't know. Like, go to TikTok. Like, it's full of them. We're doing things different over here. Confessions of an Alleged Good Girl. So, I wanted to start by saying romance has lost the plot, and I mean that literally. Romance has lost the plot. I have read so many romance books this year. And what I figured out is the reason why I'm not enjoying them, they don't have plots. They do not have plots. They have tropes. They have beats that they have to hit tropes. So like enemies to lover, forced bed sharing, all of these things. Like, they're trying to get tropes because people like to read about their favorite trope. And then they make the story fit the trope instead of coming up with the story they want to tell and then seeing what tropes help to play into that story. That is what adult romance is not doing. They're not coming up with stories. They're deciding what trope is going to get their book to sell, what trope is going to get the TikTok girls to like read the book. And then they're just putting a loose story there. So you don't have plots. You don't have plots. You don't have good characters. You just don't, like, it's just hitting the same beat every single time. And that's what's refreshing about this book. At the root of this book, there is a Black girl who is trying to figure out her sexuality. She is trying to figure out her body. She is trying to figure out her family. She is trying to figure out her relationship with the church. She is trying to figure out her relationship with her friends and everything in her life. That is the root of this book. And in that story, there is a romance, because that is how life works. When you are falling in love with someone or you are being with someone, you live your life and then romance comes along. That is how life works. It does not work that all like you just all of a sudden, oh, I'm just looking for a man, looking for a man, looking for a man, and then like there's a little bit of life on the side. Like, that's not fun. That's no way to live. And so why we do that in adult romance and we don't do that here, I do not know. Okay, so first and foremost, I want to discuss why this book is so important. As a Black girl who has been reading books all my life, you did not see Black girl representation in young adult. You just did not, especially not in the contemporary scene. Like, and if you did get Black girl romance, like Black girls in books, they was gonna be downtrodden. Like, it was gonna just be real heavy. And I love a heavy book. I'm not saying that to be nasty, but like, it wasn't gonna be lighthearted. It wasn't going to be cute. Like, somebody might get shot. Somebody, like, it's just gonna be real downtrodden, real depressed. And so what I love about this new age of YA writers is they're giving you the hard-hitting topics, but they're making them relatable, and also they're making them feel good. Like, there's a black joy in this book, that even though we're dealing with something huge, because it's fuck her parents, like, we can get it, it's fuck her parents, her parents suck, but like, it still feels good, it's still fun to get the shenanigans that they are going through. And so why a Black romance is so important, to just see this type of stuff. And so, like, that's why it bothers me so much when people don't like read Black romance, because I'm just like, it's so important to see yourself. It's so important to see relationships on the page, to see how people handle situations. Another thing I love about this book is the middle classness of it all. Like, you're dealing with middle class Black people. Like, it's just so specific. This book is so specific. It is dealing with middle class Black people in this random city, in this random like church town. And I love it. I love it so much. It's dealing with people who have this weird, like, I have never seen a book that like perfectly sums up Black parents. Like, Black parents in like middle class Black parents, like these people felt like my parents. These people felt, and I'm not even a Christian, I did not grow up a Christian, I grew up a Muslim, but it felt the exact same way. It felt the exact same way. Like, the stuff that they were doing, like, it felt like it was just so perfect. It was just so perfectly written, so on the nose. Like, the girls that get it, get it. Like, if you grew up in a Black household with these type of parents, you know they act just like this. You know they act just like this. They will literally cut off their nose to spite their face. When they kicked Miracle out the house, that was them cutting off their nose to spite their face. Like, they just don't know. They rather you not be around than have to deal with the hard topics. Ooh, like, Black parents, y'all have to get it together. We're going to get into the beats. We're going to talk about Dom. We're going to talk about Dom because, believe it or not, Dom to me is the most conversations. Like, it causes the most conversation for me, because y'all might fight me on this. I do not believe in the first act of the book Dom is necessarily a villain. Is that a hot take? Dom is not necessarily a villain in the first chunk of the book. Oh my god, my phone ringing. This is ghetto. Hold up. Let me call you back. In the first half of the book, Dom is not a villain. Dom is not a villain. And hear me out. If we're going to talk about sex positivity and we're going to talk about kids, they're 17 years old. If you're 17 years old, you should not have to endure in your relationship. I'm so sorry. You should not have to like come up with ways for your girlfriend. Like, they're 17, you guys. They are 17. Dom is allowed to want to have sex. I am so sorry. Y'all going to have to drag me there. Like, he's 17 years old. He is allowed to want to have sex with his girlfriend. And he tried 29 times. And the thing is, it would be one thing if he tried 29 times and like he's just like forcing the issue, like, oh my, like, he was trying to like help the situation in the best way he knew how. He is not a sex therapist. He is not a doctor. He don't know what's wrong with this girl. I just feel like there is some ways we need to, in the first half of the book, we have to extend a little bit of grace to Dom. Like, Dom just like he was 17 years old and wanted to have sex, and I feel that on both ways. If Monique wanted to have sex with Dom and he was just like that, like, why should he like? They 17. Like, he's supposed to sit up here and just be like, I guess I'm not having sex because Monique can't. Like, that's unserious. Like, I'm so sorry. I live in reality. That is unserious. Like, if your needs in a relationship are not being met at 17, leave. Like, get out of that relationship. And like, Dom wasn't even that nasty about it. Like, the only thing Dom did wrong in the first in the first beginning of the thing is like, why didn't he like tell her? Like, why didn't he tell her, like, like, I'm getting frustrated? Like, he needs to use his words. Because like, breaking up with her in the middle of a fucking IHOP is unacceptable. It is unacceptable to break up someone in the middle of an IHOP, and that's where he went wrong. Like, he should have talked about it. But Dom, like, just wanting to break up with her because they couldn't have sex. I'm sorry, they're 17. I'm sorry, they're 17. They had the rest of their life to be settling and like being like, no, at 17, everybody needs to get what they want. 17-year-olds deserve to have sex if they want to have sex, to not have sex if they don't want to have sex, to be in a relationship that fulfill them. Because you know what? It is only downhill from here. It is only downhill. So if you can't have fun at 17, you can't have fun at no age. So I'm on, like, in the beginning, Dom was not a villain. Dom was not a villain at the beginning, but baby, I gave him an inch and he took a mile. I gave him an inch and he took a mile. Okay, we're gonna go through the characters and we can like start with Dom. So they break up. So they break up and she's like distraught about it. And I knew from the beginning, like, girl, you only like Dom because Dom is all you know. Like, y'all know those relationships. Y'all know those relationships where you look at them and you like, y'all only like each other because y'all don't know nothing else. Y'all don't know nothing else besides each other. And that was Dom and Monique. They should have never been together. And that's why they nasty ass parents get on my fucking nerves. I hate her parents. Like, why are you like, first of all, they were too invested. Dom, the daddy was too fucking invested. Like, it was giving gross. It was giving gross. You were too fucking invested in like what's going on with your daughter in her sex life. Let me see some comments because I know y'all are dragging because I know y'all like Dom. I know like y'all hate Dom. I know y'all hate him because he's nasty. And on their 2-year anniversary, guess who said that? Jolt Pope, whatever. Like on there too, like he was nasty for that. But his reason for wanting to break up, like, I'm sorry, I'm gonna cut some slack. I'm gonna cut some slack. See, thank you, Stephanie. I didn't necessarily think he was a villain at first because he wasn't. He wasn't a villain at first. Like, he was not. Like, he became a villain. Like, at first, and then that's what I loved about the book. It added some complexity to it. That's why the book is so well written because at the beginning, you kind of see where Dom is coming from. But the more that Monique starts to show her emotion, you're like, oh, Dom, you're nasty. But like in the beginning, Dom was just like a kid who wanted to have sex. Like, I don't know. So then, anyway, so they try to have sex 29 times. For the people who didn't read, let me tell you what happened. So they attempt to have. So you have this girl named Monique. She grew up in the church. Everything is normal. Everything is like fine. Like, it sucks, but it's the church. And then she has this boyfriend named Dom who used to be like this like fucked up kid, but the daddy took him under his wing and he became like, he became one of those kids at a church, whatever. So they're dating. They've been dating for 2 years. They've been trying to have sex for 2 years, but every time they try to have sex, like something like stops. Her body like literally is like repulsed by his presence and like they can't have sex. And they've been trying to have sex for 29 times. By the way, him buying her that lingerie was creepy as hell, but like maybe I'm just too grown. Anyways, so then he like decides on their 2-year anniversary, they're going to try like one more time. Monique don't know it's one more time, but he's thinking to himself, if it don't happen tonight, you're going, girl. So like they're about like, first of all, they're having sex in a car, which like I knew it smelled crazy in there because like ew. And so like they're having sex and they're trying to have sex and it doesn't happen. So after it doesn't happen, they like go to like IHOP and he breaks up with her. So then she comes home and the daddy and the mama are just like, what's going on? Like, I cannot do this. Like, why are you breaking up? Like, da 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 da. So that starts our thing. So then we get my favorite character in all of the book, and that's Sasha. Sasha is my favorite character in all of the book because let me tell you something about the writing of this book. They could have written Sasha off. I thought the other two girls that she was talking about in the book were the girls that were gonna like come in and like save the day, but no, we got good old Sasha. Do you guys want to know what one of my favorite tropes in any book is? My favorite trope in a book is the same thing. Have y'all seen Nope by Jordan Peele? That's another book, another thing that does the exact same thing. Like a motley crew, when you get a crew, like a band of misfits, when you get a crew of people coming together, all to defeat like one thing, all coming together for one purpose and one mission, that is one of my favorite tropes in a book. And when I saw we were getting that, ooh, I was invested. That is one of my favorite things in books, when you just get random people who probably wouldn't hang out outside of this to come together and all try to defeat something. So I was in. So then we get Sasha. If you haven't read, Sasha is like that girl at the church. Like, she is that girl at the church. She's read her Bible thing. Everybody at the church loves her. She goes up there and she says the prayer. She knows all the songs. She knows all the hymns, like all of that. Every boy in the church is like probably wanting to date her because they see her as like wife material. Like, she is that girl in the church. And they could have wrote Sasha off. I thought Sasha was going to get written off. But Sasha comes in And so our girl Monique decides to go to the women's clinic, which I don't know what the fuck she was doing that. They live in this small ass town. She thought she was gonna pull up to the women's clinic and nobody was gonna see her ass. And she didn't know Sasha worked at the women's clinic. Monique know everything sometimes and then nothing all at the same time. It's like, girl, like you didn't know Sasha. You knew everything about Sasha when you was up there at the creek talking shit about her, but you ain't know where she worked. Ooh, Monique's spirit was kind of nasty the way she was treating Sasha. Like, bitch, focus on you and your home. Focus on Sasha's home was together. Focus on you and your home. Like, you and your nigga sitting up there talking shit about me and you about to get dumped. Like, please. But so Sasha was working at the women's clinic. And so Monique comes into the women's clinic and she's like, whoa, nobody can find out that I'm here. I'm going to leave. And like, Sasha's like, what's going on, girl? Like, you being a bit unserious, because Monique is a bit unserious. Like, she's unserious. And so she's like, I can't have sex. And Sasha's like, what? What's going on, girl? Like, Sasha is so mean. Like, I'm so sorry. Like, if I found out some random person, like, I want to be in everybody's business. I want to be in everybody's business. So, like, she's just me. I want to be like, ooh, girl, what's going on? And so, like, they're like, what's going on, girl? And so she tells Sasha that she can't have sex. Like, something is going on. And Sasha, being, you know, the genius that she is, her mind is turning. Her mind is turning. And she says, oh, you have a condition that kind of stops you from being able to have sex. Like, something about your body is like afraid to have sex, and it's like it's closing it, and you can't have sex. She's like, what are you talking about? So she comes over. So, like, that's the thing. I always love this person in the crew. The person in the crew who gets down to business, who uses Google, because Monique could do the same. Like, girl, go down to the library. But who uses Google to find out what is going on. That was Miss Sasha. She was in her computer. She was in the lab. Like, and so she said, girl, like, we have to figure something out. Now, refresh my memory, y'all. How does Reggie come into all this? How did Reggie? Oh, they were looking up porn. No, they were looking up pictures of vaginas on the internet, and Reggie walked in. So you have Reggie, and like, Reggie is so like a particular black boy. If you black, you catching my vibe. He is such a particular black boy that we all grew up with. Like, he's giving very like my cousins. He's giving very like the boys that was in my mosque when I like just too much energy, like too much energy, doing too fucking much. Like, why are you like this? But like in the best way, in the best way. So like Reggie, like, is working with everybody thinks Reggie is a low life, and that's why the mama don't get no slack from me. Y'all might cut the mama some slack for like the ending of the book, but absolutely not. We will not be traumatizing little black kids. The shit she said about Reggie in the beginning was so fucking nasty. Like, you too fucking grown. You too fucking grown to be name calling little kids. Like, please be serious. Please be serious. Like, the shit she said about Reggie, like, he's a child. He's a child. He's a child. And then to find out, like, y'all believe y'all dropping him off at this like rundown shack. Like, you think this boy is impoverished. He's constantly getting in trouble. You don't see he has a father. And your first thing to do is name call? Name call, and like somebody just said, to their face? To their face. Oh no, fuck the mama, fuck the mama, fuck the mama, fuck the mama. She was nasty. But Reggie does come around to help out the daddy. And so Reggie is over there, and like, whatever. Reggie is funny as hell. I loved Reggie. And so like he comes in and he's like, why are y'all looking at vaginas? And before you know it, they get to talking. You guys, one of my favorite scenes in the entire book is when they're sitting in the car and like Reggie thinks she has an STD, and like Monique's like, it's not an STD. He was like, I don't really care. And she was like, it's da-da-da-da. He was like, I was perfectly fine with thinking it was an STD. That scene is so good. I love a good banter scene. I love a good banter scene. And that scene where they all get into the car on their way to get the dilators, like, it's so good. And then the thing about the sex shop, when they go to the sex shop, first of all, the sex shop scene went totally wrong. We could have ended the book there, because like I would have got those dilators. Like, we would have stole something out of there. Are you serious? Like, we would have went in that sex shop and stole and left. But anyways, that scene was so like, it was then that I fell in love with Reggie. I was like, I am here for Reggie. Reggie, like, you guys, that STD scene is so good. And then what I love the most about Reggie, like I said, Reggie is such a particular black boy because, like, everything Reggie said, I could see a black boy saying, like, him being so, like, unconcerned about her vagina, like just being like, I guess, like, I'll roll with it. Like, I loved it so much. And what it showed was that Reggie was in need of community the same way these other, like, Monique and Sasha were. Like, it is so freaking good. So though this starts the mission. This starts the mission. We have our crew. We have Reggie, we have Sasha, and we have Monique, and they are on the lookout for dilators. I didn't know what a dilator was. I did not know. I don't like this book. This book is young adult, and this went over my head. Like, the stuff that they were talking, I was like, whoa, like, whoa, like. So they go on a mission to look for, like, dilators. Basically, it's like things you put in, like, your vagina that, like, opens it up, and slowly but surely it was going to get into, like, whatever. Anyways. Everyone's saying it. So let's go on. The Walmart scene. The stealing from Walmart scene. It is so freaking good. What I love about this book knows when to be smart and knows when to not. Why the fuck they thought they were going to find dilators at Target and Walmart, I don't know, because they're kids. But when they go to Walmart, it is so good. Everyone is firing on all cylinders. When you get the man, that they know who is reading erotica. You get them looking for bras. You get Reggie stealing the bra. You get them having to run out of the Walmart. It's so good. It's so good because that's another thing this book is. This book is like almost like this Mission Impossible type thing. This book is firing on all cylinders to me. I loved it. So, like, what happens after that? Okay. So they come together. So then we get the stuff about Miracle. Miracle comes into the story. We find out the thing about Miracle. This is another reason why this book is so nasty, because this hits on this thing that I want to talk about in the Black community. Do we see how disposable Black girls are in the Black community? The daddy in this book was willing to give Dom 50-11 chances. He also gives Reggie chances. But the minute it's time to give your daughter some grace, Miracle, the one who's in Austin, he gives her nothing. He gives her no grace at all. He would rather his daughter not be there at all than give her a crumb of grace. Instead of talking with her and saying, hey, the funds ain't looking right to pay for an art institute, you rather her not be there. It just shows how disposable Black girls are in the Black community. The Miracle stuff really rubbed me the wrong fucking way. Like, you let your young ass daughter just be gone. All she wanted to do was go to art school. They act like this girl was over here saying she wanted to get on the pole. She wanted to go to art school. And you thought that was enough for y'all to end y'all's relationship. The only person in that family with some goddamn sense is the auntie. But you'll believe Dom and his bullshit. You'll believe what Reggie, when, like, you'll give Reggie all the chances in the world. And the mama's still on my shit list because you just let your daughter go. You just let your daughter go. And do they see how nuts they sound when they're talking about, like, premarital sex and you can't do? Y'all sound nuts. Monique is going to be 18 in a year and y'all won't be able to do anything. Yes, that's exactly. No, you're right. Like, same thing. I thought Miracle was really out here. Like, I thought at the worst, I thought Miracle had a baby or something. Miracle wanted to go to art school. But you want to know what? It's so realistic. That's exactly what being a Black girl in a Black family is. Like, you constantly have to stay on the straight and narrow or you're done. They do not extend any grace. And I have a quote that sums up this entire thing. Ooh, did I lose the page? So when everything is going on, so basically, long story, at after the whole book is going on, we have a quote from Monique, and the quote is, "I shouldn't have cheered for my daddy to silence my mom." And that sums up everyone in that fuck ass family. Everyone believes that the misogyny hand that the daddy keeps striking down is never going to hit them. It's never going to hit them until it does. Everyone, and that's the thing about the Black community. That's the thing about misogyny, all communities. Nobody believes they are going to be the one that is going to get done wrong by misogyny. They are never going to be on the receiving end of some bullshit. And it happened to all of them. Miracle got it first. Then Monique got it. Then the mama got it. Like, all of y'all are at the receiving end of y'all daddy's bullshit. And I could, like, and the mama, you too grown for that. You too, especially when you got Aunt D who is telling you that your husband is bizarre. It's bizarre. This little funky ass church, like, bizarre. Like, y'all all were gonna get done up, and that's why you sit up here. So, like, when Monique, that's why Monique was over here like laughing and kikiing when the daddy wasn't agreeing with the mom. But you don't see what your daddy is doing to all of y'all. You don't see how what he's doing to the mom, he was doing a miracle, then he gonna do to you. Like, that's what, let's all be alert in our lives. Let's all be alert to where we play a hand in a little bit of misogyny. The things we find funny, the things we laugh at, the things we're like, ooh, you damn, because it could be you. It could be you. Like, do not, like, misogynist men are misogynist to everybody. You just haven't got your licks yet. You just have not got your licks. And all of them got their licks. And I did not agree with Monique when she was like, oh my gosh, I don't want my parents to break up, bitch. Yes, I do. Your daddy sucks. Your daddy sucks because your daddy is the worst type of misogynist. Your daddy thinks he's a nice guy. You, like, there's some like church pastors and Black fathers who know they ain't shit, and it's they way or the highway. Your daddy thinks like that he's a good person. Your daddy thinks that he treats all the women in his life so amazing. That's why he thinks he can like lecture the kids. Like, he can lecture the kids. Your daddy ain't shit. All your daddy got is this church and y'all three girls that he want to boss around. The minute he could not boss Miracle around, you gotta go. You need to go to your grannies. I fucking hated him. They never should have got married. Thank you. Should have left, should have dipped. Like, bitch, like, he's weird. And then that brings us to the next. This whole thing is about how Monique doesn't know anything about her body. But, like, that's the reality of a lot of Black girls. Like, you can't wear tampons. You can't know anything about your body. And then you're thrusted into the real world, and people expect you to just be able to function like a normal person. And it's like, it don't work that way. And what I loved about this book, it shows not only are you stunting your child's growth in a like just social way, but in a health way as well. Like, your daughter, when you don't take your daughter to the gynecologist to get checkups, when you don't like monitor, is everything going right with your daughter's period, how, like, what is your sex, like, what is the like, you're stunting. Like, your daughter could be unhealthy, your daughter could be going through something, and you just don't want to hear about it. What does that say? What type of parent are you? You, like, sex scares you so much that you would rather your daughter suffer. Anyways, let's move on. This book was great romance building. I hate a romance book where it's like, why the fuck do you guys like each other? This book was amazing romance building. My second favorite scene in the entire book is the magic 8-ball. Another trope that I love. If I love the Motley Crew, another trope that I love. I love in a romance book when they go to the person's house. When they go to the person's house for the first time, fuck that. Let's start here. The whole house story. Reggie is so funny to me. There is a specific type of human being that I love. The human being that carries on for no reason. I love a person who carries on for no reason. And that is Reggie. Why did Reggie lie about where he lived? What did he gain? Reggie was just lying about where he lived because, like, it was fun. Like, I love people who carry on for no reason. I love when you meet someone and they just start telling you all the ways in which they carried on, where they were just like, yeah, like, I did that just to do it. Reggie was so funny. When he said he did not live there, I was just can you imagine every single day every single Sunday, getting dropped off from church and having people drop you off at the wrong house. And you walking up the porch and then watching them leave and you walk down a dirt road to your real house. Like, for what? For what? For what? But it's so funny to imagine because, like, what? Mo did that, huh? Reggie was so funny. He was just like, I gotta tell y'all something. I don't live here. Like, I'd rather you guys believe that, like, I'm poor and destitute. Because why did they believe Reggie was poor and destitute? Like, all Reggie did was get kicked out of, like, a high school. And, like, people get kicked out of high school. Like, even if he got kicked out of the high school for stealing, was it, like, really that bad for them to believe he was, like, destitute, poor, and nasty? That's another thing this book hits on so well. How nasty middle-class Black people are. Whoa, how nasty middle-class Black people can be to Black people they believe who are beneath them. That's what this book hits on because, excuse me while I ugly cry wherever I put that book, does the exact same thing. Middle class Black people can be so nasty to people they believe are beneath them. But the gag is y'all live in the same funky ass town. So, like, how beneath you can I really be? Like, they're so nasty to it. And Reggie is so funny because he points that out. Like Monique's respectability, how when they're in the Walmart, how they're in the Target, and Reggie is acting like a lunatic in the goddamn Target and running around, like how she don't want people to see her a certain way, like because you want everyone to believe like you're all high society and all this stuff. But bitch, what your funds really looking like? What your funds really looking like? So I found that so fucking funny when Reggie was just like, they can believe I'm broke. They can believe I'm broke. They can believe I don't got a pot to piss in. Like, who gives a fuck? Like, who gives a fuck? And all it took was dropping him off, because that's the nasty thing about it. So you thought this boy was living in this caved in house, door don't even work, all this stuff, and you never once like try to raise some funds to get his house fixed up. You never once went in there. You never once went in there. You never once went in there to see how he really lived, to see if him and his mama got AC, heat, all this stuff. You never went to go see. You was just perfectly okay with dropping a child off at this fucked up house. It says the parents suck. The parents suck. I'm sorry. I have nothing for Monique's parents. Like, y'all was just okay with them living like this. Y'all was, and y'all have to check it. Y'all have to check it. So when Reggie said he did not live there and they drove down the road and he lived in a perfectly fine house, that killed me. That was so damn funny to me. Another thing this book hits on is the like good guys finish lasting and the good guys this and the good guys that. Like, Dom was a piece of shit and her daddy was just like playing into it. Dom was a piece of shit and her daddy was just letting him be a piece of shit. Like, you was just letting your daughter hang out with this piece of shit because you were just so sure he was a good guy. But the thing is, the daddy ain't a good guy. So his picker is off. He's picking people who are just like him, nasty, just like him, nasty. But the relationship building up between Reggie and Monique is so damn good. Like, you just see the little moments that they are having and they're trying to have fun when they're in the car and he's explaining like them breaking up, and he was like, I wouldn't have broke up with you over this. And like the wheels are turning. It is so damn good. Another scene that is so good is when Reggie is in the backyard working on the deck and Monique gets all dolled up to go out the deck, carrying on exactly what I would have carried on. I would have went out there. Y'all want some water, boys? Y'all want some water? Any lemonade? Like, ooh, like I would have been fast. I would have been acting fast out there. Like, it was just so cute and it was just so wholesome. They were just so wholesome. But like I said, my second favorite scene is the 8-ball scene. And also another thing with Monique funky ass mama, if I was Jackie, Reggie mama, like, please don't call my house on no bullshit. Please do not be calling my house on no fucking bullshit. Like, please, another thing of not minding your own household. Your daughter has snuck off to the creek 29 times to get her like back blown out, but you worried about my kid. You worried about my kid. Like, I would have hung up on her so fucking fast. Like, either take my child to church or don't. Y'all don't even know where we fucking live. Y'all don't even know where we. That's what pissed me off. You can call me to like rant about my kid, but you obviously don't even know me that well because you don't know where we fucking live. I hated it. I'm so like I know the ending of the book wants you to feel bad for like Monique's mama, but we've seen too much. We've seen too much where she is nasty. She is nasty. She is so concerned about premarital sex. She is so concerned. I know it's like she doesn't want me to turn out. Like I don't have no sympathy. I have a little bit of sympathy, but not too much sympathy for like women who like allow for their daughters to be in misogynistic situations and like are okay with it. Like you saw what misogyny did to you. You saw that when you had sex for the first time, what like how you felt about yourself, how you like you got dumped immediately after. You saw how that made you feel, and you want your daughter to feel that same shit. As someone who is a hag, there's things that have happened to me in my life that I will do everything in my power to make sure not only does it happen to a daughter I may have, but doesn't happen to other Black girls who I'm in community with. Like I won't let it happen. And for you to just be okay with like, ooh, I'ma just have her in the church and I'm gonna let the daddy do this, and I'm so concerned. It's like you don't see how that's weird. You don't see how that's weird? I'm going to get on the Magic 8 Ball scene. Anyways, they go into the room. One of my favorite tropes is going into people's bedrooms. Like when you like two people are like, slowly starting to like each other. And they're like, ooh, how should we do this? Because before then, we get a moment where they almost kissed too. When they almost kissed, and then like they came with the confetti, like, and then anyways, they almost kissed before, but then Reggie's like, you have confetti in your hair because they go to the little hold down. They go down to the little hold down with Sasha. We found out Sasha is a lesbian. Like, oh my god. Sasha, the woman that you are, the girl that you are, Sasha, in today. Like, Sasha was just so. She's just the woman that she is, the woman that Sasha is. Like, oh my gosh, you guys, do y'all remember? So when they sneak in to like get the dilators, I'm gonna go back because this happened, I think, before the 8 Ball scene. When they sneak to go get the dilators, because one thing about a good crew, somebody has to have skin in the game. We know Monique has skin in the game because she's the one with the issue. Reggie is just here for the ride, and I loved it. But you gotta have somebody who's willing to go far. When Sasha was willing to steal from Monique, it was giving found family. It was giving found family. Like, I will steal from my job for you. Like, I loved it so much. When when Dom caught them in the house, when they were at Sasha's house and Dom saw all of them together. See, one thing about Joy, she knows I like mess. And we're going to get to the real messiest scene later, but she knows I love mess. She knows I love mess. And so when they're like hanging out in Sasha's room, now I got worried. I got so worried like for a second. Do y'all remember when they was hanging out in the room and Monique pointed out that it seemed like Reggie had been there before? I said, please don't have Reggie and Sasha have already been together. I was about to throw this book across the room. When they said that, I was like, what the fuck is that supposed to mean? Like, please don't piss me off. Please don't piss me off on today. Like, I will give this book 1 star. Like, please don't piss me off. I was worried. I was worried about that. But then anyways, and so they're hanging out. Then the brother and Dom come in because everyone in this fucking town knows each other. And like Dom gets immediately jealous, and that's when Dom becomes the villain. Like, I wanted to show you guys when Dom officially becomes the villain. Right there. Because first, Dom is minding his fucking business. He's minding his fucking business. Like, he's like, they don't seem to be going back and forth, nothing. That scene right fucking there is when Dom becomes the villain. He becomes possessive, nasty, gutter butt, vile, and evil. Like, that is when Dom, like, because, like, why are you worried about who Monique is hanging out with? Why are you worried who Monique is hanging out with? And then, like, number one, let's not act like, what was Sasha's worst offense? I also didn't like the way when he came in, he like, why are you hanging out with Sasha? What is Sasha's worst fucking offense? Y'all was just at the creek being bored and nasty talking about her. Like, she can hang out. And he's like, why are you hanging out with Reggie? And so when they're laughing back and forth and Reggie grabs Monique's hand, like, I'm in bliss because, like, yes, they are so cute, like, so amazing. And then Dom's looking like, don't touch her. Like, please get a life. Like, please get a life. Please get. What are you here for? What are you here for? Like, we're minding our business. They're trying to. And then the fact that the entire time Reggie is still trying to help you be able to have sex. He's still trying to help you. He's trying to help you. You. Reggie's not getting anything out of this. He's trying to help you because you never once thought, ooh, maybe I should see if Monique is okay. Maybe I should. You're just being weird with her fucking father. You're just being weird. You guys, every time we would cut to the daddy and the daddy would be like, oh my gosh, have you talked to Dom? I'm going to invite Dom over. I'm going to, hold up, 1 second. McDonald's, are you hiring? Taco Bell, are you hiring? Wendy's, are you hiring? Like, why do you give a fuck if I call this? Please go find something to do. Please, like that. That was making my skin crawl. Like one time, okay, you want me and Dom to get back together, but when it gets into multiple times of you asking me if I've talked to this boy, like, do we need to call Chris Hansen? Like, what? Why do you give a fuck if Dom is here all the time? Like, it was just giving so fucking weird. Like, he just kept asking, like, you gonna talk to him? What you hanging out with Reggie for? What? I see what's going on with you and Reggie. Is it this? Like, pick one. Like, why are you so invested in me being with Dom? I didn't understand that. I still didn't understand that. And like, why was he so fuck? Do you really think they was gonna really get married? Do you really think they was gonna really get married? Like, I just can't imagine at his being like at big ages that his ass is at, like really like being concerned with who your 17-year-old daughter is gonna marry. She could marry. It was weird. Thank you. He didn't have a sermon to prepare. He was everywhere but in the church. He was focused on that deck, who his daughter was sleeping with, and where Dom was. Like, that's the only thing he was concerned about. Please give a sermon. Is there a funeral you need to go, like, be over? Like, there has to be something you can go do in your spare time that don't involve you worried about this girl. Like, he was never in the church. He was never worried about his congregation. He was just sitting there worried about Dom all fucking day. And by the way, Dom's little sob story don't mean fucking shit to me. About his mama being dead and her being a shoulder to cry on, and his daddy was mean to him. I don't care. I don't care. At first I cared. It's like, so sad. It's so sad. But the minute he pulled that shit at Sasha's house, acting like Monique belonged to him, I didn't care. I was just like, please. Not Monique daddy, a mini Jamal Bryant. He's terrible. Like, when you really break down the science of how bad, like, even when the mama didn't even really like his ass, I'm like, so who likes you? Like, how did you even become head of this fucking church? Like, you like, who likes you? You're weird. I know. Thank you. They tried to get us to care too fucking much about Dom's backstory and his mama. I didn't care. Little dead mama, I didn't care. Ooh, make me the villain. I did not care. Ooh, when his mama, y'all was 7. Everybody, like, y'all was 7. That's another thing in stories that never matters to me. People who have like childhood like relationships, and it's like, we've known each other since we were kids, and he went through this. Y'all was kids. I was friends with everybody at 7 years old. Like, I don't fucking care. Like, we was 7. You went through some shit. We on the other side now. Like, you won't have to, like, I don't know what to tell you. I do not know what to tell you. So all that happens. They end up driving around. You guys, when they hang out in the Target parking lot, all their little, I hate books about road trips, but like, I loved every time they got into Monique's little car. I imagine Monique's car to be broke down as hell. Is that wrong? Every time they got in Monique's little broke down ass car, I was just like, y'all are just so cute. Y'all are just so pure. Their friendship was just so pure. And so then they went down to the honky tonk, and Reggie was talking to everybody, and they was dancing. And then when they get back into the car, and he's like, you have confetti in your hair, and it looks like they're about to kiss. What's her name goes in for the kiss, but like, it's not really a kiss. Like, a broke down Kia Soul, like, broke down. Not the daddy wanted Dom. Call Chris Hansen. Like, what do you want? What is your skin in the game? What is your skin? They are such goals. Like, I just love friendship that is just so pure, that is just so pure. They are pushing and pulling on each other. Sasha feels comfortable coming out to them. Reggie finally feels like he has friends coming to this new town. Monique is dealing with her issue. It's just so good. Everyone just is just coming into each other and loving on each other and being there for each other. And what I love the most is they could have did all this shit without Reggie. I love the fact that when we do get our big crescendo scene, they point out that Reggie is literally useless to this whole, like, Reggie does not need to be here. Reggie does not need to be here, but he's here because they want him here. Like, they want him here, and it's this, was understood, don't need to be explained. Like, Reggie is one of the crew. I don't know what to tell you. This book just means so much to me. Like, it was just so good. It was just so fucking good. So fucking good. The 8-ball scene. Let's go back to the 8-ball. So after all this shit has happened, they decide, like, ooh, you need to change your clothes, whatever. So I knew we was about to go into Reggie's house. I love it when people go into people. I've said it 20 times. I love it when we go into people's houses to see how they really live, to pull back the curtain. So we go into his room and we figure out his room. It still has boxes. So we're learning things about Reggie. Reggie is new to the town and he hasn't unpacked his boxes. He got a mean old nasty daddy who got a whole white family and whatever. So I'm taking from this, Reggie is biracial. Did I miss something? That's what I'm taking. That's what I took from the cover of the book. God damn it. And so, like, daddy left them. And so we're getting so much backstory into the thing. And then Reggie talks about his 8-ball. I used to have a magic 8-ball. I feel like back in the day, if you were 90s baby, did we all have those little, like, 8-balls? Like, those little 8-balls, and like, it was like a blue 8-ball and like some blue liquid. Like, that's what I imagine, like this little 8-ball like little thing. I used to have one too. Like, it was so fucking fun. But when he was like, I like use this 8-ball to make like all the decisions in my life, and he was like, and like they're just having a normal conversation, and he shakes the 8-ball and he's like, should I kiss Monique? This is why I read YA romance. Like, just the cuteness of it, the purity of it. And so I thought the 8-ball was gonna say yes. I was ready for this thing to get the show on the road. And when the 8-ball was like, I don't know. I was like, oh my gosh, like, be serious. And then what it did was, see, this is storytelling. What she set up here was a way for Monique to have her agency. You have to see what this book is doing. It is reclaiming Monique's agency. It is reclaiming Monique being able to choose her own story. We don't let an 8-ball decide if Monique gets a kiss. Monique decides if Monique gets a fucking kiss. And so she's like, don't listen to the 8-ball. Do not listen to the 8-ball, nigga. Like, we are about to kiss, and they kiss, and it's so good and it's so amazing. But like any YA romance, the first kiss cannot be like where it all ends. We still had 100 pages left to go. And so she's like, oh no, I can't do this. Like, this is a mistake. I can't do this. Now, if I was Reggie, I would say, I'm not gonna be too many more mistakes before you can get the fuck. Like, let's be careful with this whole mistake word, okay? There's not gonna be too many more of those before I start telling you about yourself. But he was nice about it because, Reggie is just nice. And so then we meet Reggie's mother. She comes up, and Jackie is just sweet as fucking pie, and she hates Monique mama just like the rest of us. She hates Monique mama just like the rest of us. Like, she's just gonna, like, your mama's too fucking much. Jackie was amazing. Jackie second. We got Aunt D, we got Reggie, we got Sasha, and we got Jackie. Like, my faves. Now, I'm gonna be honest with you. This is random. When we got towards the end of the book, I kind of didn't care about Miracle's storyline a little bit. Like, I was kind of over it. Like, I was because I kind of feel like fuck her parents. Like, I kind of didn't care. We got a lot of Miracle scenes. I love the letters. The letters were so good. When she saw the letters at Andy, but when Miracle came back, I was just kind of like, I was kind of just here for Reggie and Monique by then. I was just like, I don't care no more. Once we found out she was trying to get in touch, and like she left a letter, and like Monique could like reach out to her, I was kind of like, Okay. Not Monique, Miracle. Miracle, I did not care about Miracle though. I was like, okay, if Monique wants to reach out to Miracle, she will. They'll, live it up, whatever. I didn't need Miracle to show up. I didn't need Miracle to show up. Like, that's okay. I'll sit alone. Unpopular opinion. Miracle could have stayed in Austin. Fuck them. Like, she could have stayed in Austin. I didn't care. I wanted more Reggie and Monique. The insecure talks. The woman that Joya Goffney is, when they are sitting around and they're talking about Lawrence, Daniel, and Nathan, and they're talking about insecure, baby, I was in on it. I was in on the conversation. Y'all know I'm Team Nathan. I was in on the conversation. I was plugged into what the girls were saying. Daniel does look the best. Like, I was plugged in on the conversation. Let's go back to the beginning of the book. When they watched the scene about broken pussy, like from Insecure, if you watch Insecure, the first season of Insecure, the broken pussy episode, oh my God, can we talk about like using other art forms that are made by Black women to stream into yours to show that we all have this Black girl, Black woman experience that all can be connected and intertwined. When I tell you this is storytelling, like, what this book means to me. Let me make sure I hit. So we get the scene. Dom is getting jealous. Sasha steals the dilators. When they pull off the whole dilator thing, going in there and stealing the dilators, and they go back in the car and they're all giddy about getting the dilators, please inject that into my veins. When they're all like squilling, even Reggie in the car because they got the dilator. Put it in my veins. That is just Black kid joy at its purest. Like, this is storytelling. If you haven't read the book, you're probably like, what the fuck? Like, what is this story talking about vaginas and can't have sex and dilate? Like, that's called a story. That's telling a story that only one person can tell. Like, that's telling a story that hasn't been told before. That is so fucking relatable. Anyways, let's get to the big scene because we've been here a while. So everything's going good. Jackie and Reggie, they invite what's her name, Monique, to come over for pizza and watch a horror movie. Everything is going well, and they decide, like, you know what? Let's go pick up a pizza. Let's go pick up some Pizza Hut. Maybe some stuffed crust. Who knows? So they're like, let's go pick up some pizza. And something in my soul knew something was going to go wrong. I knew something was going to go wrong. But I didn't know how great it was going to be. I love this scene. Maybe my favorite scene. Because I'm messy. This scene, like, this book was already 5 stars. But this put this book in, like, my favorite book of the year conversation. The Pizza Hut scene. So they're in Pizza Hut. They pick up the pizzas. Everything is good. Everything is great. And so they start kissing in the car. What makes it so amazing is that they're kissing in the car, because we know Dom and Monique went out to the creek 29 times to be kissing in the car. So they kissing in the car. And it's not just them kissing in the car. It's Monique jumping over the center console to go sit on Reggie's lap, kissing in the car. It's the elements. It's the build up to what I knew we was about to get. I didn't know if it was going to be the daddy. I didn't know if it was going to be the mama. But baby, Miss Joya said that's child's play. Getting caught by your parents making out is one thing. Like, whatever. When Dom knocked on that fucking window, give it to it. Just give this book everything. Because that's what I sign up for. This is my type of mess. This is my type of fucking mess. When Dom gets to the car and Dom starts talking his weirdo shit, and he like, you gonna fuck this nigga? Can we give a Nobel Peace Prize in literature to this book? Like, can we give it to it? Because that's what I signed up for. Are you gonna fuck this? They're going back and forth. Reggie don't give a fuck. He's just like, we don't have time for this. We don't have time for that. So then Dom, let's get serious for a second. So what does Dom really say in the conversation? Dom is all of a sudden it's like, we not really broken up. We gonna see what's going on. We've been together 2 years. It's funny, we've been together 2 years, but that didn't fucking matter when you broke up with me at an IHOP over my omelet. Like, she didn't even have time to order her omelet before she was dumped. Like, that didn't matter then. Now all of a sudden you see me with Reggie because to set the scene, he already thought that she was with Reggie. She was like, why you hanging out with Reggie? Like, he was already being really, really weird because she told Dom about the dilators, which we gotta go on back. We gotta go on back. The dilator. So she tells him, because the daddy invites Dom over. It's weird. The daddy invites Dom over for something, and like they're hanging out, whatever. He comes in there, and so that's Dom wants to know why Reggie and Sasha have been hanging out with Monique, and so Monique is forced to tell this weirdo about her little dilators, and he's like all this stuff, and that's when Monique realized this nigga ain't shit. This nigga ain't shit. And why did he say like, text me after you put the dilators in, nigga? How about I don't? What a fucking weirdo. And he's like, so Dom knows about the dilators. He knows about the dilators. He knows about Reggie. He's like, he wants to make sure you don't like Reggie. So he's already, I wish she lied. I wish he would have told him, mind your business. Mind your business. This ain't got nothing to do with you. This is us business. Like, please go hang out with my father. Like, oh my gosh, my dad is your best friend. Like, be serious. Don't tell me who to fucking hang out with. Like, anyways, so she tells Dom. So Dom knows about the dilators, which is important because he's going to do something so nasty, so fucking gutter butt, so fucking vile. Anyways, so back to the Pizza Hut scene. So he's like, you're gonna sleep with her. I done put in all this work. I done did all this. I done did it. And like, that is Dom coming into full villain mode. Now we see where Dom's real angle is with this. He feels like he deserves to fuck Monique. He feels like he deserves to have sex with Monique. He's talking shit about Reggie. He started calling Reggie all types of low lives and all types of what? Like, Reggie should have knocked him clean the fuck out. He's like leaning into the car, acting like he gonna whoop somebody's ass. Like, please be serious. Please be serious. Like he keeps on going and like, we should be together. Dom, you had me in the first half. And that's what's so crazy. I was willing to give Dom grace. If Dom would have just walked off into the sunset, I was going to give Dom grace. He wanted to have sex. He couldn't get it. He left. I was willing to give Dom grace. Putting in 2 years of work. What does that mean? Not KK. Would your dead mama want you to act like that? Now, if Reggie would have said that, then all hell would have broke loose. But that's the real question. Would your dead mama want to see how you have been acting? That's saying, like, would she? I know Reggie got hands, because one thing about that Pizza Hut scene, Reggie was not phased. Like, Reggie was like, we can run it. Like, Reggie was giving real, we can run it energy. When Reggie said, we don't have time for this, when they was over here, like, talking back and forth, and Reggie was like, we do not have time for this. Yes, shut it down. That's how you shut it down, because at the end of the day, like, I'm driving her car, and we're gone. Like, we're gone. So, like, shut it down. Like, we don't have time for this. This is old. This is late. This is tired. That's what Reggie said. This is late, and this is tired. And Dom's pissed off. So they going back and forth. It gets heated. Long thing, whatever. Dom skirts off in his car. But guess what? Dom skirts off in his car. But guess who's making out on the couch eating pizza with the mama? Them, Reggie up. Like, you over there pissed the fuck off. And what makes it worse is not Dom leave. Dom is over at Monique's house snitching on Monique. while Dom is the one kissing Monique. Well, Reggie is the one kissing Monique. Do you see how there's levels to this shit? There's levels to this shit. Reggie and Monique minding their fucking business. He's tonguing your bitch down, and you over there at home crying to her daddy. Crying to her daddy like the little bitch that you are. A bitch. So, anyways, they sitting on the couch minding they fucking like you guys, y'all don't understand how all of this stuff takes place in like 75 page. There is a good 175-page run of this book that is so good. That is so good. Like you, it's just mess after mess after like. So you sitting there thinking you about to get this great moment with Reggie and Monique, like they're kissing on the couch. Jackie is sitting over here like not too much, don't get too comfortable, don't get too comfortable. Like it's just so good. It's just so good. So all of a sudden the daddy called. Now I thought somebody was dead. Because sometimes in these little books like this, they like to throw in that Miracle done got shot, Miracle done got, something happened to Miracle, something happened to the mama. And I was hoping it wasn't nothing happened to the mama or the daddy, because I would have had to say I didn't care. I would have had to say I didn't care. She could have came in that phone and said, Miracle, Monique, your mama dead. And I would have been like, go back kissing Reggie. Like, who cares? So I was happy it was, but I thought somebody had died. I thought somebody was dead. I said, oh my God, like we can't have nothing. We can't have nothing. So like, but boy, was it better. Boy, was it better. Boy, was it. Why did I doubt her? Why did I doubt Joya? Like, why did I doubt it? It was 10 times better. So they go. So she goes to the back room and she's like, Daddy, like, what are you doing? What are you doing? Like, first of all, he's calling from both phones because he's a loser. He's a loser. So he's calling from both phones, like her mama phone and the daddy phone. Like, you need to get home. You need to get home. We need to talk. You need to get home. Whatever. And Monique's like, can this wait? Like, I got a nigga say wait for me. Like, be serious. And so she's like, whatever. He's pressing the issue. You need to get home. You need to get home. Okay, I'll go home. I got home. She had to get a couple more kisses in before she left. Be serious. Be serious. So they go home. Why her dilators in her daddy hand? Why her dilators in her daddy hand? And that's when I knew Dom wasn't shit. Dom wasn't shit. You can't get these niggas nothing. You can't tell these niggas nothing. You can't, like, who the messiest bitch you know? It's a nigga. It's a nigga. Who the messiest bitch you know? It's a nigga. Like, just a messy for no fucking reason. If y'all don't learn nothing from these books, do not tell these niggas shit. Like, they stockpile information to use on you. And one thing, I'm messy. So like, but like us girls, we keep information too, but we wait till it is needed to gag the room. Like if we really need to gag the room, that's when we'll pull out the things we know about people. But niggas do it for less. For less. They feelings get hurt for one thing. Now they gotta tell everybody who you fucked, who you didn't fuck, who you was sucking, who you was this, who you was this. Like they just messy and nasty. So I knew for like, here come Dom. Dom is being annoying. So her dilators are in her hand. And once again, Monique's shitty booty ass parents done packed up her shit and about to ship her off to grannies. Do you see how disposable they are showing black girls are? Like you don't even want to, and I gotta go live with granny? Like what? That don't make no sense. Thank you, Victoria. You gotta hold your spades. Like, please. Like, Dom was saying, like, if you really wanted to, like, you just don't give up your tea. Like, what? That's all it took was a little Pizza Hut fight for you to go over there and get to snitching. You hold on to that. Wait till Reggie really do something to piss you off. Like, come on. Like, you kind of be a messy queen and you're not even doing it right, Dom. So Dom snitches on her. Dom snitches, but it's not the snitching. It's not the snitching. Because I can appreciate when somebody plays their hand well. So it's not the snitching that bothers me. Dom had some cards and he put them on the table. So it's not the snitching. It's the lying. This boy tried to sit up here and say Monique was pressuring him to have sex, and that's why they broke up. He said, let me show you where Monique keeps all her sex toys. Keep in mind, it shows you how little Dom gives a fuck about Monique's body, because Monique, like, I genuinely believe, like, he thought these were, like, sex toy things. Like, he thought, ooh, like, that's why he said, let me know when you put it in. Like, he really, like, let me show you where She keeps her sex toys. And then the lingerie that your weird ass bought her, you show everyone all of that. You're weird. You're weird. It's the lying. It's the lying. Like Dom was all like I said, we're just seeing Dom's full transition into a full-blown villain. So when he gets ate up at the end of the book, that's what he fucking gets. So he should have got jumped. They should have jumped him. Like he's just sitting up there lying. Lying. Now, it's one thing to lie. It's the second thing for you to believe the lies that this little boy is telling. Daddy, do this even sound like it makes sense? Do it even sound like it makes sense that Monique was the one pressuring this boy to have sex? And that's why we say, class, your respectability does not save you from misogyny. Being the good girl does not save you from misogyny, because they are always going to believe these men. They are always going to, but you can never be a perfect victim. You can never, because when it's time to pick who we believe and who we don't, they rather believe a story that makes no fucking sense than believe you. Monique has done everything she can possibly do to appease her dad. She's been the perfect daughter. She's been this. She comes home on time. She does all of this. And all it took was Dom, who, when you met, like the whole point of how y'all met is that Dom was like, and things wasn't all the way okay in Dom's life, but it doesn't matter. He wasn't willing to give you the grace. He wasn't willing to give you the grace. He was willing to give it to Dom. Because you never can win. When you are a woman, you can never win with misogyny. They are always going to side with the man. He doesn't want to believe Dom is wrong because he's a misogynist. And now, like I said, the favorite quote of the book, every time we come on these lives, I'm going to tell you my favorite quote of the book. I always got a favorite quote in the book. Now I can't find a goddamn quote. Let's see. I got it. Favorite quote of the book: I shouldn't have cheered for my daddy to silence my mom, because look what is happening to you. Now that you're no longer Miss Good Girl, you see his tactics. You see his tactics. You see his silencing tactics. You see how he uses misogyny to bully and berate the rest of you guys. So Dom sits up there and Dom lies, and now they want to pack up all her stuff and go send her with Granny. And so Monique goes off to bed. She wakes up the next morning. Oh, and she explains that she went to the women's clinic and all of this stuff. And the daddy is just so worried about premarital sex. Is that weird to me? Is it just weird to me? And like when I have kids, things would change? I don't think so. It's so weird to me for you to be so interested in your daughter's sex life. Like, that is just so weird to me. Like, I'm almost a let the chips fall where they may. Like, I'm not going to be doing that. That's just weird. And then she's discussing how she has a medical condition, how she believes she has a medical condition, and she couldn't come to you for that. That would be so humiliating. How to be a parent. Your child is literally saying something is wrong with their body and they couldn't come tell you. Mind you, at her age, she should already be getting checkups. But you are failing your daughter on both ends, and she can't even tell you that something is off about her body. Why are you not? You're more humiliated that your daughter might be the church hoe than the fact that your daughter might have something wrong with her body. And you could say, Ken, this is a book, but this is reality. That's why this book is so good. It hits on a real reality. It does. Anyways, so then we get the next morning. And mother comes in and she's like, we need to go. You need to put on a sundress and we need to go. And I'm like, oh, where they going? I thought they was leaving daddy. And I got excited. I got excited to see Black love perish. I did. I got so excited. I said, we leaving. I was so excited. I'm like, yes, girl, pack your things and get going. Leave a note in the hallway. Word to me, aunt, say, like, leave this man. They was just going to the women's clinic. They just go into the women's clinic, which like, okay, second best, I guess. And it's like, okay, whatever. So they pack up all their stuff and they go to the women's clinic. And then mama, this is where you're supposed to like redeem mama, but mama can still go to hell. Like she did a couple good things here. She did a couple good things here, but like whatever. So she's on the way to the women's clinic, which is in the town over, I guess. And so like daddy calls and it's like, where y'all at? Where y'all at? And she's like, I'm taking Monique to the women's clinic. And daddy gets her going on his bullshit. And she clicks the phone and she hangs up on him because what they should have been done. If we learn nothing from this book, what else do we learn? Hang up on these niggas. 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 Like hang up on them. Like they don't know what they're talking about. They don't know what they're talking about. He was willing to send Monique the grannies before getting his daughter checked out. Hang up on them. You don't know what you're talking about. You're delusional. And that's why mama, like, you know your man sucks. You women, whatever, I'll include myself with y'all, even though I'm not dumb. Y'all will follow a man into hell. Like he will, it is like the blind leading the blind. Like Monique mama sat up there and like let this man lead their house, and he's a bozo. Y'all will let men who are bozos lead your house. Y'all will let men who are bozos lead your church. This is the man leading a church, y'all. This is the man leading the church. This is the man leading the church. This is the man who y'all are letting like mentor your sons. He's a bozo. A bozo. But anyway, she hangs up on that man. I'm like, ooh, they gonna get a divorce. And this is where like Monique says some shit like, I would rather not get checked out than have my parents get a divorce. I guess the misogyny is working. The misogyny juice is working because I wouldn't have said that. I wouldn't have said break up. I would have been in that car trying to convince my mama to leave him. I would have convinced my mom, like, you know you can leave, right? You know Aunt D, her house kind of big. Like, we could live there for a little bit. Like, I'm 17 years old. I'll be in college next year. Like, you know you can leave him, right? Like, you can go get you an apartment or something. Like, I would have been, like, whispering sweet nothings in mama ear to leave him. Like, because this is your moment, because he's delusional. But Monique is like, I don't want them to break up. Girl, fuck him. Fuck him. Like, we have to talk about what is really happening here. Your father is deciding that your health does not matter. That your health, like, this is something that is how do two people, let's really break this down. Two people who did not know you, Sasha and Reggie, have been more invested in you getting better than your own father. Take that in. Sasha is 16. If a 16-year-old and a 17-year-old boy can come together and put their brain cells together with the undeveloped frontal lobe and be like, you need help. We need to make you better because we have empathy. We care, and then y'all grow to have a friendship and they care about you and they love you and they know you need help. Sasha is willing to steal from her job. Reggie is willing to do all the stuff Reggie is to help you, but your own father can't. Ask yourself, is that not, that's weird. That's weird, isn't it? It's weird, isn't it? Anyway, they go to the clinic, and Sasha is so excited. Like, Sasha is just a cheerleader. Like, we love a girl's girl. There's a scene in this book where they're sitting around when they have the party, when everything is fine and they have the party before Dom shows up. And, like, Sasha is like, don't tell nobody, like, I'm dating Brandy or whatever. And Reggie's like, who are we going to tell? Each other? And like, that is so funny because my friends do the exact same thing. They'll be like, don't tell nobody I'm dating Xavier. And it's like, bitch, who the fuck do I know who know Xavier? Like, who I'ma tell? Don't nobody know this man but you, but me and you. So who I'ma tell? Like, this information is not juicy to nobody but us. Like, what? Be serious. Anyway, that was another funny little moment in the book that was hilarious. Sasha is just a girl's girl. She's a girl's girl, and she is so excited. Even though all her plans and her schemes have been exposed, and like, people, the girls think she's a thief. She is just so excited that her girl is finally getting checked out because that's what people who care do. I just love a book that just shows like Black girlhood is just like all we got is each other. So she gets the checkup. She is confirmed to have a condition. And so she gets the dilators and everything is good. So then they go back. And so like she decides she's not gonna go. The mama decides they not going home to the daddy. They gonna go to auntie's house. Go to auntie's house. Auntie was like, I never liked that man. Auntie was like, I never liked that man. And I'm like, thank you. Somebody sees it. Somebody sees it. I never liked that man. And we also in there get Monique's mama with a sob story about like my daughter's health, and I can't believe this. Anyway, daddy shows up. Oh, this is when Monique finally gets the letter from Miracle and all that. And like I said, that storyline could have ended right there at finding out that Monique can send Miracle a letter. She's in Austin, Texas, and everything is fine. That storyline could have ended right there. I did not need Miracle to come back, but she did. Anyway, so daddy comes over to the auntie house. And he's like groveling. He's like groveling and da 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 da. And it's like, nigga, please leave. I wanted the mama to have a backbone so bad. I wanted her to have a backbone so bad and like leave him, but she didn't. She didn't. She didn't. They talked and whatever. Long story short, Monique gets to keep the dialect, and then the daddy comes over and talks to Monique, and he's lying. He's lying. Like, I didn't like that. Like, he would tell a little joke that wasn't funny, and Monique would be like, I'm sorry. I am up to here. I'm at my wit's end with like men like just being nasty, with black men being nasty. So I was just like, whatever. That wouldn't happen in my household. Like, whatever, but whatever. So everything is fine. Everything is great. She gets her dilators, and like daddy is still being weird about it. Like, you would think this would be a time to grow. You would think this would be time to grow and stop being fucking weird. No, he really did. All like that's the thing about the daddy. 1 minute the daddy is like the worst misogynist you ever seen. Then all of a sudden, like he's like, oh my gosh, we can do. The daddy was useless. The daddy was useless. Like the daddy was giving TD Jakes. He was. I think Stephanie, I think that's what the condition like is, that you're so scared of sex that your body like shuts down. So like it's almost like that's what I think it is. I think it literally is that the church had vilified sex so much that her body like had a physical repulsion to having sex because she didn't want people to like find out. No, I agree. Find out that she was having sex. Yes, Miracle and Mo shouldn't have forgiven them. They were nasty. Y'all could have died. Like, and I'm being so serious. Like, Miracle could be out in Austin dead for all they know. Like, be serious. No, me either. But like, all's well that ends well. No, the daddy would not. At least in my home, the daddy would not have let her use a dilator. You remember when they're in the fucking at the doctor's office and the mom's like, I just don't think girls need to be using tampons. I just don't think you should be alive, Monique mother. That's what I think. Yes, he told Dom. Yes, Dom told Monique's daddy he deserved her body. Like, it's just so fucking weird. I really thought Sasha and Monique would have become a couple. Maybe in the next book, we can get some lesbian representation as the main, because like that would have been great too. But I loved Reggie. Anyways, back to the comments. So yeah, they have a party. Everyone comes over. Jackie is over. Like all the girls come over. The boys are in the back. Who invited Dom? Who invited Dom? Who invited Dom? The daddy. The daddy. The daddy. The daddy. The daddy. After everything that happened, the daddy invites Dom. Can we sit with that? The daddy invites Dom. This boy lied on your daughter, lied on her, was pressuring her into having sex, told you that he deserved your daughter's body, and you invite him to the cookout. I want y'all to sit with that one. Let's sit with that. How Dom actually gets to the cookout. The daddy invites him. If you didn't read the book, do y'all heard all that shit I said Dom did? He lied about everything on his daughter. Was pressuring her into having sex, to say he deserved to have sex with her because he put in the time. Was acting ignorant in the middle of a pizza parking lot. And you invite him into the home again. When do we protect black girls? When do we protect black girls? When do we do it? And that's why it's fuck the daddy. It's fuck, like, he's weird. Whew. Church boy, man of God was willing to forgive Dom, but not his daughter. Not his daughter. We can have grace for Dom, but not his daughter. I hate the mama, but like the daddy's does not hold a candle. Like I hate him. I hate him. I hate him. And then if we push this further, it really shows you what he thinks of the mother. The fact that he is so like, don't lose your virginity. It makes you think what he thinks about the mom who wasn't a virgin the first time they had sex. Maybe he wants to make sure his daughters don't turn out like their mother. Like it really, like the misogyny does not fall far from the tree. Like he don't like the mama. He judges the mother too for being a whore. Like somebody had to say it. Somebody had to say it, and I say it. I say it. He thinks his mother. He thinks y'all mama was a hoe. A fast hoe, and he don't want y'all to be a fast hoe like the mother, and that's why the mother has internalized that misogyny because she know he thinks that too, and that's why she the biggest person like don't do that because the daddy was the first person to call her fast. So anyway, Dom comes over. He gets jumped. He gets verbally jumped by everyone because he's a fucking weirdo, and basically all's well. Oh, so then they keep dating. They anyways, the pizza scene when they burn the pizza and Reggie eats the burnt pizza, and then when Reggie said, I'm not over here to I didn't come over here to eat. I didn't come over here to watch movies. I just want to be with you. Like, just so cute. Just so cute. Just so cute and wholesome. Just so cute and wholesome. Anyways, the story ends. Reggie and Monique don't end up having sex. They're like, let's just take it slow. Let's just take it slow. And like, fine, whatever. It was just all's well that ends well. That's how the book ends. That's how the book ends. Overall, I'm ignoring the miracle stuff. I don't care. 5 out of 5 stars. We have ourselves a winner. We have not only is it 5 out of 5 stars, this has moved up into one of my favorite books I've read this year. Like it just the layers. I loved it. Love it. Yes, flipping Sid. You're correct. Flipping the script. Reggie not being ready was perfect. Like all this judgment of like Reggie in the beginning and Reggie being the one who actually was everything they thought Dom was. Y'all thought Dom was this just convict, broke down, like no head on his shoulders boy, and like he wasn't that. He wasn't that. That was Dom. Dom and his dead mama. That was them. Anyways, when she went and climbed the tree, Monique is so head ass. Why did she go climb that tree? But then when Reggie's like, I just want to take a picture of you like that, they're just so sad. And then he unpacked all his boxes. I'm just gonna imagine in the life, Sasha, Reggie, and Monique, they go off to college together. They're the bestest of friends. Like it's just so perfect. It's just so perfect. Monique is so corny. Like, why did she climb that tree? Like, be serious. Be serious. Monique, like, but she didn't have no other option. Look at the family she was raised in. Like, there was no other options. There was no other option. The only person with a head on their shoulders was Miracle, and she was all the way in Austin. Like, look, like she ain't had no option but to be a doofus. Anyways, that's the book. 5 out of 5 stars. This was good. A good conversation. I had fun today. Those are my thoughts. Those are my thoughts. It couldn't be perfect. Our next book is going to be Fake It Till You Bake It. Fake It Till You Bake It is going to be the August book. I'm excited. Another Black romance. I don't know if this is going to be a hit. I haven't looked at any reviews, but this is it. Yes, Sasha and Brandy book story next. I don't know how we're going to do that. If you haven't read Excuse Me While I Ugly Cry, read this. Not as good as this. I'm going to be honest. Not as good as this, but it's still good. It's still so good. It's still so good. So read this. Like, just great books. Anyways, thank you guys so much for being here today. Next time I'm gonna use like a streaming thing so you guys can join in. We're gonna have people on. It won't just be me. It won't just be me next time, hopefully. Like, we're gonna have people join in. We're gonna figure it out. This is gonna be fun. I had so much fun today. I will see you guys in the next one. Peace.